Alright guys, welcome back to some more Total Extreme Wrestling. This is episode 5. We're just 2 weeks away from Summerslam. Looking forward to it. Should be a good show. This is going to be Monday Night Raw. And talking about good shows, we definitely need one tonight. Our highest rating so far is a 69 C+. Just not good enough, to be perfectly honest, at the moment. We need to get better. We need to get into those 70s. Start getting those Bs, and then maybe we can try and work our way up to maybe one day, get an A, but at the moment now we just need to try and break into the 70s. Can we do it with tonight's show? I'm not too sure. I thought last week's show was really good, and I thought the SmackDown, I focused more on matches, but still didn't break into it. Personally, I think tonight's show is a little bit weaker than last week's. There's a few notable faces missing from this week's show. So, I don't know, I'm not too confident how this rating will go. Another thing I just want to point out before we get into tonight's show, there is a few people that I'm underutilising at the moment, but I will be using them more after SummerSlam. Like I said, you have to remember, I'm taking over from WWE at that point, so I kind of had to follow what they were doing. Now, once I get SummerSlam over with, I can just go my own direction, I can put feuds to a finish at SummerSlam, and then I can move on and do whatever I want, but until we get to SummerSlam, I'm still kind of stuck in that real life mold where I'm kind of doing what they're doing. I know I've mixed up, I know we've not got the exact same card, but we've still got a lot of the same, feuds in real life, because like I say, when I took over, I was taking over from that exact point just after Extreme Rules. But once we get SummerSlam over, I will be going in a different direction, and I will be trying to use more of the roster, because there's a lot of people I haven't been using. People like Elias, people like Alexa Bliss that have hardly featured so far in this playthrough, and that's just talking about Raw. Your people on SmackDown. It's weird. I kind of use more of the SmackDown roster, even though Raw is 3 hours, and you'd think that I would be able to use more people on Raw due to the extra hour, but that's not been the case so far. But before we get into tonight's show, we've got some locker room incidents we need to deal with. Our backstage rating is at 100%, which is good. I'm surprised it's that high, to be honest. And we'll see what we have to deal with here. We've got incident involving Curtis Axel and something with Mark Henry and Titus O'Neil. So we'll deal with the Curtis one first. And Curtis Axel has entertained the locker room by organising a poker tournament. So not bad. If he was perfect like his dad, he would have won the poker tournament, but there's no doesn't state how he did. And then we've got something with Titus O'Neil and Mark Henry. Mark Henry has been passing on tips using psychology to his prestige Titus O'Neil. So there you go, Mark Henry and O'Neil basically working together backstage. Got a lot in common. Both black, both hate Hulk Hogan, both bitter and won't let those nigger comments go from Hogan. I mean, come on, man, it's been fucking 3 years now. I mean, who hasn't said it? Rappers say it all the time. McMahon said it live on TV, for God's sake. So did Booker T. Yet Hulk Hogan says it and everyone wants him to die. They give him the Chris Benoit treatment. Fucking joke. Hulk Hogan never hanged his kid and body wife, did he? I mean, he might have hanged a lot of people's pushes in WWE and WCW, but he never took their lives, you know what I mean? So, with that said, we've covered the incidents. Let's get into the show. I think we need a good one tonight. I'll be honest, I'm not confident. I don't think it's going to be as good as last week's, but I hope I am wrong. So, here we go. Without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Sasha Banks there on the left. And in a terrible pre-show match, Dana Brooke and Ember Moon defeated Alicia Fox and Natalya in 8:27, when Ember Moon defeated Alicia Fox by pinfall with a top rope stunner. In terms of ring work, Natalya was head and shoulders above everyone else. 41D rating. Dana Brooke seemed to be the weakest link of the quadruple, the quadrates, or whatever you want to call them. And she got 25. Now, I tried to give her limited involvement. I don't know if that helped or boosted the rating. I don't know, but there you go. Not the greatest rating in the world. But it is a pre-show, so I don't think it really matters. Next pre-show match, Authors of Pain versus The Ascension. In a terrible pre-show match, Authors of Pain defeated The Ascension in 6 minutes 5. Or 6 minutes 50, actually, should I say. When Akam defeated Victor by pinfall with the last chapter. Again, not a lot to say here. Pre-show match. Got it over and done with. Paul Ellering is doing some good work at ringside, so, I mean, that's good. The Authors of Pain, I would like to get them on the main roster, but to be honest, people like this, I just want to keep them on the pre-show for now, because they're dragging the ratings down, and we've got enough people on Raw dragging the ratings down. You've got the whole 205 roster that are rating killers. If Benoit's the family killers, then 205 Live's definitely the rating killers, because those guys fucking suck. Hang the ratings every single week. And now we'll move on to the last pre-show match. Oh no, it says Victor sustained a groin inflammation, yeah, that's it, fucking hell. In this match, I don't know why Big Johnny's telling me this, so anyway, we'll keep that in mind. There's a little backstage heat on Akam, as it was felt that it was his mistake that caused Victor to get hurt. Okay, so Akam there, definitely not ready for a push, it looks like. Unsafe worker. Maybe we should send him to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He'd probably get along well there. And in the final pre-show match, and about that terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, Hideo Itami defeated Jack Gallagher in 10-28 by pinfall with a Kenta combo into a Basuke knee kick. 39 D- rating. Itami in-ring performance of 40, Gallagher 29. Awful match, and that's why it was on the pre-show. Right, let's move on to the main show. We need a good rating, so hopefully we can deliver. Holy fuck, maybe not. So we've got a Raw recap video showing last week's Raw, basically. Kicks off with highlights of the controversy between Stephanie McMahon screwing Ronda Rousey against Nia Jax, and obviously Stephanie McMahon running backstage, getting in the car and making a getaway. That car with Baron Corbin driving, so interesting start to the show. 57 C-, not great, but we'll move on. I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll be worse ratings than that, unfortunately. And we kick off with Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie is here, but no, not in person. She appears on the Titantron to the live audience. Stephanie says everyone is waiting for her to explain her actions last week. Well, she's a McMahon. She doesn't have to explain anything. Stephanie asks if everyone really believed she would allow Ronda Rousey to get away with humiliating her at WrestleMania, her show. Steph says this isn't the UFC, this is WWE, this is the big leagues. And in the big leagues, you pay for your mistakes, and that's exactly what Ronda did last week. So, it's got a 62C rating. Stephanie McMahon clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. Announcing quality and colour commentary gave the segment a boost, the angle got the crowd hotter, and Stephanie McMahon came across well, and the storyline has advanced and gained heat with this segment, so good start to, well, not the greatest start in terms of rating, but, I mean, in terms of the performance, Stephanie did well, and it has advanced the storyline, and it has got the crowd hotter, so, I mean, not the greatest rating in the world, but a decent start to the show, nonetheless. After that, we have, after Stephanie McMahon appearance on the Titantron, we cut backstage to Kurt Angle's GM room. Seconds later, an enraged Ronda Rousey enters, demanding Stephanie McMahon tonight. Kurt says he can't do that because Stephanie McMahon isn't here tonight, but he will give her an opportunity for some revenge when she teams up with Nia Jax to take on the team of Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. I know it's not average, but to me, with Kurt Angle and supposedly Ronda Rousey's got so much star power, you know, being UFC champion. She was supposed to come to WWE, get them these massive ratings, get them all this attention. I just expect better than a 64C. Maybe I'm, I don't know, putting too much pressure on Ronda Rousey, but I thought she'd be doing better than this. At least it has advanced the segment, it has gained heat again, so in terms of that, it's good, but I mean, normally you like to try and start the show off with, you know, high 70s, if not 80s, and we haven't done that. Definitely haven't done that tonight. Anyway, let's move on to the next segment. Actually, it won't be a segment, it's going to be a match. We've got Jinder Mahal taking on Bobby Roode. In a decent match, Jinder Mahal defeated Bobby Roode in 13:55 by pinfall with a Sands of Time. It's got a 70C+. Bobby Roode is not suited to his gimmick. Mahal got an in-ring performance 68, Roode 66, and the match got the crowd hotter. So, again, Jinder Mahal now picking up good wins back-to-back there. With, last week defeated Finn Balor, this week defeating Bobby Roode. Jinder Mahal is improving his performance skills. Jinder Mahal, really, since losing the world title on SmackDown, I don't know, in real life he's absolutely done nothing. I'm going to try and do something with Jinder Mahal. I haven't got any plans for him, as I said, head into SummerSlam, but after SummerSlam, that is when I'm really looking to go in my own direction. So I'm going to try and get some momentum behind Jinder Mahal, because I believe Raw does need some heels. They haven't really got many. You've got Ziggler and Reigns. You've got Ziggler and McIntyre, you've got Elias, and that is Kevin Owens, but that's about it, man. I think we need another main event heel. I believe Jinder Mahal is a guy that we could push. Bobby Roode, don't have much for him at the moment, so I don't mind using him to put people over until when maybe we change his gimmick and get some sort of... Talking about top heels, we need a top heel. I'm sure Bobby Roode could be one of them, but who knows. For now, he's lost to Jinder Mahal. 70C+, best rating of the night. After that match, we have Elias. He makes his entrance for his match tonight. Before the match, Elias gets on the microphone and says he's embarrassed by the lack of competition here in WWE. Elias says his opponent tonight can't even speak one word of English, let alone sing. Elias starts singing one of his songs before he's interrupted by his opponent. It's got a 67C+. And in the match that followed, fuck me. And about that decent wrestling but not much heat, Elias defeats Kalisto in 10-18 by pinfall of a Halo Bomb. It's got a 50D+. The match was poorly placed, the crowd were already hot, didn't need working. My bad. Kalisto had an in-ring performance at 51, Elias 55. Not great start, man. Elias is improving in flying skills though, so at least that is something. Finally, we get a 75, man, B-. So the Shield arrive backstage, so basically that's just them entering the arena. Reigns is dressed to compete, however Rollins is banged up and on crutches, still selling that knee injury for last week due to the hands of the beatdown from Ziggler and McIntyre. Seth Rollins is not suited to his gimmick, we'll have to try and change that. Moving on. So we're back in Kurt Angle's office. Angle confronts Corbin when he arrives in his office about last week. Corbin brushes Angle off and says that Stephanie McMahon is his boss, not Kurt. Kurt says he's sick of Corbin thinking he runs things here on Raw. Kurt says since Corbin has liked booking matches lately, Kurt's going to book a couple of his own at SummerSlam. Kurt Angle announces Corbin will be taking on Finn Balor, and they can finally put their feud to an end. But for tonight, he puts him in a match against Braun Strowman, much to the displeasure of Baron Corbin. So Corbin tonight taking on Braun Strowman. He will not be happy with that. He's booked Strowman in a matches the last couple of weeks, and now he has to go on with the match against Strowman. So who knows how that's going to go on. Both storylines here have advanced, which is good. 68C+, decent rating, not too bad. Now up next we have 51D+. Alright, but not great. And about that decent wrestling but little heat, Liv Morgan defeated Sasha Banks in 7:28 by submission. During the match, we also saw Sarah Logan distract Sasha, and Bayley also accidentally hit Sasha. So looks like Bayley tried to come out, make the save, and she's accidentally hit Sasha Banks. Liv Morgan is not suited to his gimmick. The match did its job and gave the crowd a breather. Sasha Banks in-ring performance is 63, Morgan 55. The relationship storyline has advanced and gained heat. Then after accidentally costing Sasha Banks the match, Bayley tries to apologise, however it doesn't work and both girls start brawling. 47D. My god, these ratings have not been the best. Could be a bad show, guys, unless it gets considerably better from here on out. This could be possibly the worst Raw we've done so far. Fuck me, not good. Up next, we have an 8-man tag team match with the B Team and the Revival taking on the Deleters of Worlds and Slater and Rhino. In a poor match, the Deleter of Worlds and Slater and Rhino defeated the B Team and the Revival in 11:24 when Bray Wyatt defeated Dash Wilder by pinfall with a sister Abigail. In terms of ring work, Bray Wyatt was head and shoulders above everyone else. Rhino seemed off his game. The overbooking of the match didn't sit well with the crowd. Bray Wyatt's great performance stood out. Saying see Bray Wyatt in-ring performance is 74. No one else really got close, to be honest, which is kind of disappointing. The B Team to be deleted storyline has advanced, but overall, man, not great. And I think we need to try and get Bray Wyatt out of this tag team and on his own. I don't know, man. I think he's too good to be stuck in this tag team division. And I think we could do with another, like I said, main event guy, and obviously he's just been dragged down with these people. It is what it is. It's kind of sad, but it's the truth. So anyway, let's move on now to the next segment / match. And Brian Kendrick comes down to the ring and challenges Dolph Ziggler to a match. Basically, Brian Kendrick comes out and says, last week, Dolph, you promised me an Intercontinental Tag match if I distracted Roman Reigns, if I gave the false call for help. So basically, last week, if you remember, Brian Kendrick came and told Roman Reigns that Seth Rollins was getting battered in the hallway, and that wasn't the case. It was actually a plan for Ziggler and McIntyre to ambush Roman Reigns, and they locked them in the boiler room. So looks like Brian Kendrick was promised a title match. If he did that, he's out now demanding it, 53C-. But it doesn't look like he's getting it. In fact, what he's getting is the big dog, Roman Reigns. He stepped into the wrong yard for sure. Roman Reigns runs down, attacks the Brian Kendrick, and leaves him down and out in the ring. He's got a 69C+. Holy shit. After beating the shit out of the Brian Kendrick, Jesus Christ. More interruptions here on the channel. After beating the shit out of the Brian Kendrick, Reigns calls out Ziggler and McIntyre. Reigns says that Rollins isn't cleared to compete tonight, but he is, and he wants both of them later on in the main event. So apparently Michael Cole and Jonathan Coachman was weak. The segment deserved better announcing and color commentary, but Roman Reigns delivering an 89A. Fucking fantastic, man. He really truly is the big dog. I'll just be making every single segment Roman Reigns if he's going to deliver those ratings. Just what we needed. The show was lackluster, but that really could save it, man. That could get us back on track. And I think we needed that, and Roman Reigns certainly has delivered. I think I scripted the promo as well. Roman Reigns got a bonus here. I believe I did. 89A though. Fantastic stuff there. Let's move on. Holy shit, we went from fantastic to still fantastic. You suck. You suck. Kurt Angle comes out, answers Roman Reigns' call. Angle says that SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler will be taking on the team of Roman Reigns and The Shield. Angle says regarding tonight, Reigns can go one-on-one with whichever one he chooses. Reigns says he isn't interested in one. He wants to get his hands on both and tells Angle to make it a handicap match. So it looks like tonight's main event is going to be Roman Reigns taking on Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Basically a repeat of last week's main event, only instead of Seth Rollins, we've got Roman Reigns. Kurt Angle clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. Kurt Angle's getting better at his gimmick. Jonathan Coachman, unfortunately, was pretty weak at the announcing desk. This angle got the crowd hotter. Fantastic, man. Two very solid, good ratings back to back. Fantastic, man. A 91. No, sorry, not a 91. An 89 and an 87. Fantastic. And this is definitely pushing Raw now in the right direction. Up next, we've got Finn Balor taking on Mike Kanellis. In a decent match, Finn Balor defeated Mike Kanellis in 15-15 by pinfall of a 19-16, whatever fucking hell that is. But Finn Balor not suited to his gimmick. Mike Kanellis is not suited to his gimmick. Finn Balor has an in-ring performance of 75, Kanellis 49. 71C+ rating, not too bad there. Up next with Bobby Lashley, he's shown backstage powerlifting a huge weight in order to show his incredible physical strength. So Bobby Lashley, working on the weights backstage, doing a astronomical amount of weights, making him look like a beast, really, the Destroyer, which he is, 61C. And then in the next match, Bobby Lashley is taking on Chad Gable. In a decent match, Bobby Lashley defeated Chad Gable in 7-19 by submission with a Dragon Sleeper. It's got a 52D+. Gable's off his game. Lashley's in-ring performance is 60, Chad Gable 50. Moving on, we've got a video playing. It hypes up the SummerSlam Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Got 75B-. The Lesnar versus Lashley storyline has advanced with this segment and gained heat, which is good. This Raw's getting back on track now. I think we're doing well at the moment. Up next, we have Alexa Bliss and Mickie James taking on Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey and about that decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey defeated Alexa Bliss and Mickie James in 9 minutes 12 when Ronda Rousey defeated Mickie James by submission with an armbar. 56 C-. You can see the in-ring performances. James at 51, Bliss 62, Rousey 53, Nia Jax kind of letting the side down here with a 46. The Raw Women's Championship storyline has advanced and gained heat. With this segment, Nia Jax is improving in performance skills. Up after that, we've got Seth Rollins backstage, psyching up Roman Reigns for his upcoming match. Seth Rollins basically just saying that tonight, at SummerSlam, the Shield have got them, but tonight Roman Reigns has an opportunity to get some payback, and this got a 76 B-. Seth Rollins is still not suited to his gimmick. Let's move on. And in the next match, Baron Corbin taking on Braun Strowman. In a decent match, Braun Strowman defeated Baron Corbin in 11:59 by pinfall with a standing triangle choke. During the match, we also had Finn Balor run in and attack Corbin, and also Kevin Owens distracted Strowman. At ringside, Strowman not suited his gimmick. The match had very little drama of it to flow, as nobody in the ring had the psychology to take control properly. God damn it. Finn Balor not suited his gimmick. Corbin 53 performance, Strowman 65. Money in the Bank storyline has advanced but lost heat. 58 C-, not great rating to be honest. Owens once again on the commentary for the Braun Strowman match tries to escape to the back, but he is after the match, but he's caught by Strowman, thrown in the ring, and is on the receiving end of a reverse chokeslam. So back to back now, back to back weeks on Raw. Kevin Owens done commentary, and after the match he's been manhandled by Braun Strowman and chokeslammed in the middle of the ring. Still wearing his cast, still unable to compete, and Kevin Owens still getting his ass kicked on a Monday night. Strowman not suited to his gimmick, and the Raw Money in the Bank storyline has advanced with this segment and gained heat. So we lost heat in the last segment, we've gained it in this segment, so hopefully not a lot of damage done there. We've got just like a graphic saying that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar will return next week and be on the Raw Go Home show before SummerSlam. That got us an 80B rating, very good. And in the main event for Monday Night Raw, and about that good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in a handicap match when Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre by pinfall with a spear. Roman Reigns carried the match in terms of ring performance. Drew McIntyre was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else in ring performance. He's got a 71 C+. Dolph Ziggler took a stunt bump during this match, so basically Dolph Ziggler got took out during the match, and it sort of made it a one-on-one match. How he got took out, I don't know, man. He could have been fucking taking a shit on top of the top rope, man, and Roman Reigns pushed him through the announce table. I don't know how he got took out, but basically he got took out during the match, and it effectively made it into a one-on-one match between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, and that is how Drew McIntyre managed to get the pinfall with the spear. And that's it. Drew McIntyre weak link, strong keep up. Ziggler 71, Reigns 85, McIntyre 59. The storyline has advanced with this segment. After the match, though, Dolph Ziggler seems to recuperate from the outside. He's recovered, so is Drew McIntyre. They both attack Roman Reigns in the ring, leaving him down and out. 78B. Drew McIntyre looked lost, which is not good. Roman Reigns came across well, which is good. And the storyline has advanced with this segment and gained heat, which is very good. 78B rating. And because he's getting his ass kicked, fellow Shield member Roland Reigns. It's like Limp Bizkit singing Undertaker song. Keep rolling. What am I talking about, man? I don't know. Seth Rollins tries to run down, but he's limping because obviously his knee's still fucked. He's on his crutches. Tries to make the save. He swings the crutch at Ziggler and McIntyre, but with no real success before he's taken down and beaten to the mat. Raw ends with Ziggler and McIntyre posing above the Shield, an 82B rating to finish off the show. Again, Rollins not suited to his gimmick. Jonathan Coachman's announcement was pretty weak. Jesus Christ. I keep getting messaged here on Facebook. The segment deserved better announcing. The performance of Roman Reigns was good. Drew McIntyre was very underwhelming. And the Raw Shield storyline has advanced and gained heat with this segment. An 82B rating, guys. I'll be honest, first half of this show wasn't good. But from that Roman Reigns promo after taking out the Brian Kendrick, from that onwards, it's been a very solid show with some very good ratings, and I think this is going to be the best rated Raw we've done. A moment, during the first half, I thought we were heading for the worst rated show, but I'm happy with how things went. I'm gonna say we get a 74. I'm gonna say a 74 here. Let's see what we get. Oh my god, he's shitting me. A 68C+. I mean, I guess the only constellation is that during the first half I thought we were going to get a lot worse than a 68C+, but I thought the second half was very strong, and I'm surprised that we did not get a better rating after the second half of the show. Maybe there was just too much garbage on it, I don't know, and it dragged down all the good stuff. But a 68C+, I am disappointed with it, but it's not the worst rating in the world. We can move on from this. Only slightly down from last week, so it's not too bad, but it is slightly disappointing. So the general feeling is WWE doesn't have interesting storylines going on. The show increased our popularity in 3 regions, but the show lost its popularity in 18 regions. So overall, a bad show, no doubt about it. It has to be considered a bad show. We're getting closer to SummerSlam. The rivalry is supposed to be getting more heated, but the rating went down. That's not good enough, and we'll just need to try and up our game on the go-home show for Monday Night Raw. I think it will be better. We'll have we'll have Brock Lesnar back, obviously. There could be some good stuff with him and Lashley going down. Seth Rollins could be back. I mean, who knows? Will his injury have healed by next week? There's a good chance of that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we could have next week on Raw. Will Stephanie McMahon be there? I mean, I doubt it. We do not know. She might be there, she might not be. You're going to have to tune in to find out. But I think we can put on a promising show next week, and maybe we can finally get into the 70s. Maybe we'll do it on SmackDown tomorrow. Who knows, guys? All I do know is Raw is finished. A 68 C+ rating. It's not what we wanted, but it's not disastrous at the same time. And yeah, I mean, that is really all I can say. It's kind of like, I don't know, man. I guess it's like walking out the house with, you lose your wallet and you had £100 in it, but fucking you lose £100 and you find 50 on the ground, you know what I mean? I guess, trying to put into context, I don't fucking know. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad, it could have been worse. That's my point here, so who knows? Let's see what TV rating we did. A 19.95. Is that the best we've done so far? It might be. I'll have to double check. What did New Japan do? The Destruction Tour thingy? What kind of show did they put on? An 84B minus. How are these wee vanilla squints getting 84Bs and I can't do shit? I don't get it, man. Jobbers. Fucking jobbers, that's what they are. We've got the star power on Raw, the big dog. And we can't do shit, so let's see what messages we've got. Drake Wirtz and Johnny Gargano called up. R-Truth has returned for injury. Victor, let's see what Victor's injury is like here. I wonder if it's bad. Characters does the guy go? Interesting. Is availability? Is that right? I'm actually physical. That's it. See, I think you can still compete with that. I don't think that's going to keep him out. So, I don't know. It's not too bad. I mean, we'll live. We'll move on. WWE TV Raw TV rating 19.95. Drug test fee costs 8k. Matt Hardy opinion that Kurt Axel doesn't connect well with the fans. You should probably write him off. Okay. And Bray Wyatt has chosen to relocate and now resides in Tri-State USA. So there you go. Some news in from WWE, Raw, and man, I don't know what we can do, but we'll have a quick look at the top 100. We'll see exactly where everything from that show fits in, and where does it place. And there you can see it comes in at third, the third best show we've done, behind last week's shows there, the Raw and SmackDown, both doing slightly better with 69 C pluses. But like I said, at least we're getting C pluses. The next step has to be a B minus. And I believe we're going to get it soon. I believe we could get it next show, next SmackDown. If we book a strong enough SmackDown, got enough talent on SmackDown to definitely get it. So we just need to stay focused and hopefully deliver. But I'm looking here. The matches probably let us down if I'm being honest on Raw. But some of the segments are really good. It was probably the matches that let us down. I'm looking here, and none of the matches I don't even think are in the top 10. I'm going down. Well, we've got one here. No, we've got two. So the two matches that made it were Roman Reigns defeating Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, and then Finn Balor defeating Mike Kanellis. It was also a top 10 match, but overall, I just don't think the matches were good enough, and that's what probably let us down, because we had a lot of good promos in there. Some of the ratings were really good, so we definitely need to work on that. My God, in terms of attendances, it was the worst by far, 8,800. And you can see the attendance is going down every week. That is basically the order we've did the shows. First Raw, second SmackDown, first Raw, first SmackDown, second Raw, third Raw. So you can see every week the attendances are going down. So I don't know if it's because we're losing fans, losing popularity, but we need to try and change that. That is worrying. Now, it could be smaller arenas. I'm not too sure if that's the case, but holy fuck, we've lost nearly 5,000 fans in the space of 2 weeks. That are turning up. That just shouldn't be happening, and obviously with no pay-per-view buy rates just yet. Alright guys, so that's going to do it. We'll have a quick look at the storylines and see where they stand as we head into the final show before SummerSlam. I'm hoping it will be a good one, but at this stage you don't know, man. I'm kind of lost at what we're doing. Fuck knows. Got the B team to be deleted. It's got 48D plus. Lesnar versus Lashley, 71C plus. Money in the Bank between Kevin Owens and Strowman, 61C. Relationship problems between Bayley and Sasha, 49D plus. Ronda Rousey, Stephanie McMahon, 63C. The Shield versus Ziggler and McIntyre, 76B minus. And then the Women's Championship between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, got 43D. It's not good, is it, really? In terms of these storylines, a lot of them are doing poor. The only one to get into the B's is the Shield and Ziggler, so I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think down below, but I think we need to have a good Raw next week heading into SummerSlam, and hopefully we can put a good show on at SummerSlam. Surely SummerSlam will at least get us a B minus. I think we need to be aiming for that. It's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, biggest biggest party of the summer. We have to get at least into the 70s with that. So hopefully that's what we can do. Next time out we'll be taking the third week of SmackDown on. And we're still trying to break into the 70s. We're still trying to get a B. What'll happen on the next show, guys? Let me know what you think down below. But until then, been Son of Scotland 90. This has been Total Extreme Wrestling. Peace.